Hello everyone. Well, I got another nice day. It rained this morning. I got the tradesman chop saw out here and we're going to make the adjustment. I got the thing loose. Now, one of my viewers told me on the video about this that the little tail that was on the leading edge is because this isn't forward enough. Well, it's all loose. I loosened all four of the Allens. It don't come down any more than that. This way. And as a matter of fact, I have to make some adjustments on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this thing right off and look up underneath. I'm going to set you on a tripod. And I can do the angles right here. I don't even really need to use the blade. I can do this with the angle right here. As you can see, it's off a little bit. But anyways, I will do the blade here. Just got to go between the teeth here. But I'm going to set you on a tripod here. The sun is coming in on my left side, so we're going to put you over here. And I'm going to take this rip fence right off here and see what kind of adjustments, if any, are underneath, and just take a clean rag and wipe it down while I'm at it. But there doesn't seem to be much movement here. See, where this was before, if you look at the spacing right here, it was there. It can't come this way anymore, so I may be stuck with the tail on this. I can't tell what size blade. Maybe they got a smaller blade in there. You know, I don't know. It looks like it would be the right blade. All right, well, enough of that. Let's get you on a tripod here. I got my Allens. These are Allens that I bought at a yard sale quite a few years ago. And it came in very handy because I was able to find the right size here to do these. That's why I never pass up a yard sale that has tools. You never know when you might need it. So we'll get you set up on that little tripod there, and we'll continue, and we'll see if I can get this adjusted here. I'll get you a little closer here with the Kodak ZE-1 because I'm not powering this up. I'm doing the adjustments right now. So the first thing I want to do is to take out the four Allens, which are already loosened up. This way I can see if there is a, like I showed, there's a little movement, but not enough movement to they're the same length. Just want to make sure they weren't different. One is down in a lower well than it, but they're all the same length, but I like to keep them in the proper places anyways. There doesn't seem to be any movement, just a little bit of movement. Now that one, these are the two on the right side as you're looking at the saw. Okay, make sure I'm in camera. This one is the one from the left side. So these are equal length. They look like original. So this one on the right hole, in the right hole I should say. Let's see if this one's short also. Nope, that's a long one. It matches up with the right side long ones. So we got one long one and one short one. Short one going to the inside here. Alright, so we just keep them the same. I mean, the hole is, if you can look here, the hole is large enough that you can get some movement, but not very much. So we're going to do right now is I'll stop the camera. I got to go get a dry rag. I got a couple of wet ones out here. I don't want to use those. All right, I cleaned it down. Now I got to clean this. I want to get dirt under the camera. As you can see, this is the right side as you're looking at the saw and as you're using the saw. Make sure I'm in the camera here. It's very hard for me to see this viewfinder because daylight is drowning it out. There, okay. All right, so that's the right side. That's the left side, but you can see the holes are elongated purposely so you can get a little adjustment, but not enough to pull this thing forward. And you need some, besides pulling this forward, at one point you're going to have to pull the left side or the right side back a little bit in order to get this thing to be square here. So there's going to be a compromise. Hopefully I can eliminate that tail. And if I can't, then the only thing I can think of, the blade can't be too small because it's only about a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, I should say, from the plastic blade guard. So you couldn't put a larger blade in here. I mean, it would just be impossible. You got the top part here. Here that would not accommodate anything but the blade that's supposed to go in there. So let's get this bottom have to see if I'm in camera. It's very difficult on a small screen on the outside. It's very hard for me to see. So, okay, so we're going to do, blow the sawdust out of these bolts here, threads. We'll put them in loose so you can get quite a bit of an adjustment, but back and forth you can't. Very little movement back and forth. There's a possibility I may not eliminate that tail. Just a big blowhard. Okay. All right. Now, let me turn this around here. Get you a little closer without out of focus. All right. Where it was set originally is basically right there. You can't go any further, so I may be stuck with that damn tail in there. So I'm going to try to get this as far back as as far forward as I can, but it limits me. This is all I can do. You know, it's the way it's made. So it may come to a compromise between the angle being straight and being forward. I have to pull this left side, the right side forward and push the left side back. And I'm still a hair off, but I'm going to bring this down and do it a little more carefully here. But I want to try to keep this forward. On my Ryobi, is all dug up in here in the aluminum from the blade, and that's the way it was when I got it. So that one there was apparently too far forward, where the blade actually hit this. It doesn't now, but it did at one time. This one, no matter how, you can push this all the way forward, the blade will never hit this part. So it might just be just the way it's made, you know. I'm sure this thing is made in China. If I look around on it, I'm sure I'll find a sign saying made in China. All right, let's get this back a little bit here. It's going to be hard to do here. All right, I got it locked in the down position. I'm trying to get you on camera. I'll have to do it on this side where you can see it. All right, we're between teeth. The only way I'm going to get that, all right, is pull the right side all the way forward and the left side all the way back. That's going to give me straight on over here. I'm going to try to get you closer. I don't know if this camera will do it. Okay, there she is. She's right up in there. And I'm trying to. It's going to be. Going to get that tail. There's no way out. That's probably why they sold it. It probably is just the way it is. So it's that way from the factory. So it's more important to get this to have a square. You know, cut square, then worry about the other end. Very difficult to get that. Let's tighten that down. Tighten that left side down here. Okay, I got one screw tightened on that. So let's go on the other side, all right? Now that's got to be pulled forward. So let's snug that up. We're only doing the two end bolts right now because I want to double check it, and then we'll snug the other two down. All right. Now let's bring this down and lock it into place, and you know, it's a little out, but I can't up against the blade. It's a tiny bit out. See that? I can't pull this over anymore. It won't allow me to come over. So, and if you look over here, if anything, this whole thing is back more than it was before, so I'm going to be stuck with the tails on this. That's probably why they got rid of it. And the only way you're going to compensate for that is to drill these damn holes out oblong, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. There is another solution. Yes, there is another solution. When I use this, I'm going to tighten the inside ones down now. When I use this, I'll put a strip of wood. Not this, of course, but I mean, I'm just using this as a representation. I'll put a full-length board that I'll put it up there like that, and then put the wood that I'm cutting up in here. And I think that might take care of the tail, because it'll force my work, I think, in straight here, out that way. I don't know. If that, if that don't work, I'm going to have to live with the tail. I may have to just get rid of this. What we're going to do is we're going to tighten this down, snug them down. They weren't really all that, they weren't cranked hard, they're just snugged up. I don't have a very long Allen here. You don't have to kill yourself cranking it down, stripping them out. This is only aluminum here, and the bolts are steel, so you don't want to strip out the aluminum. Okay, so as I'm going here, I'm right on the money. As close as I can tell, I'm right on the money. Well, I'm not on the money there. I don't know. I can see why they probably got rid of it. This is right on a 0 here, because I had adjusted this. So this is locked into the... That's locked right in there. So that's no problem. It's off a little bit. I have to live with it. Now, you know, I'm really going by this plastic, but you see this here mark? The sawtooth, the saw has hit this. This whole table turns, but how this ever got here, I don't know. But I really shouldn't be using this as a reference. I should use the blade. So let's bring the blade down and let's go back on this. Okay, I got the saw down in lock position here. I got the blade between teeth. I'm moving it with my fingers here. No, it's not plugged in. And on the back here, you probably can't see it with this camera. There's a little gap here. Very faint here, and not here. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do with that. All right, here's a piece of scrap I had out in the back. Now she's perfectly square. All right. This is 6.5 inches from here to here. Actually almost 7. Okay. It's square. But the blade won't cut the full width of that. I understand that, but I hope it doesn't leave another tail on the leading edge. So, what I'm going to do is to cut this, I'm going to cut about 1/4 inch off of this edge here. So we're going to do that right now. I don't want to waste, you know. I want to cut enough piece out of this to see if it becomes wedge shaped. As close as I can tell, it's right up against the fence here. And here we go. Don't look like it's too straight to me. Thinner there, wider here. Oh, I don't know. It didn't seem to leave a tail on this end. No. I think, what do I have to do to accomplish that? I guess I'm going to have to push this back. I don't think I can push this back anymore. I think I'm back all the way on this side here. Let's unplug it. Okay, and make sure I'm recording here. All right, we'll loosen this. Yeah, I don't think I can go back anymore though. But we'll try. I think I'm already back as far as I can go. I got a gap on this edge versus this one's. Nope, I can't go back anymore. It's all the way. The only thing I can do is try to pull the other side over, but I don't think I can move that too. I'm loosening the right side a little more here. No, the whole thing is loose. snug this down. All right, the right side is just snug lightly. Nope. Got a gap in there and I can't get it out. Right here. There is no, it don't move anymore. I mean, that's the allowance of the oblong holes. Don't move anymore. Well, what you have to do is to drill these holes out bigger or file them. This is aluminum. I'm not going to do that. I'll just as soon get rid of it. I don't do compound miters anyways. I can't move it back anymore. I pull it forward. No good. I pull it back and it's all the way back as far as it'll go. See, am I in camera? I guess I'm in camera. I don't know. Right up against the blade. Well, tighten them back up. Got a space here and it's tight here. There's a very narrow space here, probably enough to get a piece of this sheet metal in there. Well, a little less than that actually. Yeah, I can get a piece of sheet metal in there. I can't in this side. I can in here. I'm holding this, so it's actually pressing against the blade. So that's not really the way you should do it. I can see why they got rid of it. It's just one of these things. It's probably made in China and not precise. Well, let's try another cut on this. We're going to duplicate this cut here. We're going to cut next to it. This is the factory cut right here, the mill cut. Well, let's go that side. Let's eliminate this altogether. Let's go over here. This is the factory cut. In other words, from the mill, and so is this edge. And so it's more reliable to well, even that's off. But I do know this is the way it was when I got it. When you buy a board, this hasn't been cut. This, obviously I did now, and this was cut off or something. So, let's make sure we're up against the fence here. This wood isn't exactly flat. All right. At least I'm not getting the tail. I was getting the tail on the 1/4 inch plywood. So maybe I only get that on that. Let's see what we got here. You get a tail here, as I told you, that's the far side. So it's good for a 6-inch wide board. All right. That seems to be fairly straight, but let's do another one. Just to make sure. All right. Take that off. It's a hair off. You can feel a little highness here, and this is level here. I think this is as good as it's going to get. I don't think it's going to get any better than that. So I just wanted to throw this video together, let you know I tried anyways. And I can see why I got it for $10. It's alright if I'm doing some real rough stuff, but I wouldn't want to try to make anything too square. But as you can plainly see here, one of my finger at this end is pretty level. It's quite difficult to do this. I really should put this back on the tripod again. Alright. Okay, this is flush right here. This is out about an 1/8 inch. About an 1/8 over here. That's the best you can do with it, because this is limited. I can't move this anymore. It's got very, very, very little movement. Unless I elongate these holes here that are in this, make these holes bigger. And I don't really want to do that. I'm not going to go into another project with this. And the other option would be, and I don't really want to do that, is make this hole, this notch wider to compensate for it, but then you have to play around. Instead of having to drop in, it'll drop in, but then it could slide left to the right and then lock it down. I could do that, and that would compensate for that thing being off. Well, this is plainly evident that I tried, and I got it a hair better, but no cigar.